Hello, everyone. David Gentry here. I'm the Managing Director for the Americas for Vispera. Vispera is focused on intelligence and IR and retail to drive your retail execution to perfection. Company was founded in 2014, began our work with CPG companies, expanded to retailers over the last couple of years. We are a worldwide company with offices throughout the world, and I'll speak to some of those details later. But before we go into the details of our solution, why should you care? I won't go into an enormous amount of detail relative to on-shelf availability. You all know your pain better than I do, but estimates are that annual lost revenue in FMCG retail due to on-shelf availability issues can range over $20 billion per year. On average, at any given time, as many as 10% of items in a store are out of stock. Obviously impacting customer loyalty, impacting obviously revenue and profitability as well, with an annual lost profit of at least 3%. So we're talking very significant numbers here. How do we help you address those? Before I speak to the details of the technology, let's have dessert first, so to speak. Let's look at some real world results with regard to the use of our technology and impacts in retail and in CPG. So beginning with retailers, and by the way, these numbers and analyses are numbers done by the retailers themselves, not by us. Most significantly, I think you see here under the convenience store, we've worked with a significant large convenience store provider here in the United States and North America. Their assessment of our technology is that our technology was responsible for a minimum 5.6% per store per week revenue increase, ranging as high as 7.3%, depending on the mix of technology used and depending on the particular store. We increased their top seller revenue by over 7% and decreased their average number of out-of-stock items by more than a quarter. You'll see other significant results as well in hypermarkets, supermarkets, and dark stores, both in terms of increased planogram compliance and decreased the numbers of out-of-stocks and so forth. So very significant numbers in that regard. Additionally, in the CPG space, across all CPG types, we see here bottlers, brewers, mixed category, customer healthcare, et cetera. We've seen very striking results, both in terms of up to 25% and more increases in perfect store scores, anywhere depending on the particular CPG from 10 to 15 to 20% or more increases in on-shelf availability, as well as significant increases in share of shelf and competitive positioning relative to positioning both in terms of share of shelf, share of display, and so forth. How do we do this? How do we make such a difference in retailers and CPGs? Our solutions are fast, accurate, and flexible. We provide, both in terms of speed of processing and in terms of flexibility, the ability to adapt to your processing environment. We have both cloud-based solutions and on-device solutions. Our cloud-based solutions can process the inputs from a typical grocery aisle, let's say a 60-foot, say 18 to 20 meter aisle, in less than a minute. So you have actual real-time feeds to operational staff on the floor, such that your standard stocking and blocking process can be fed with real-time data, real-time alerts with very, very high level of accuracy. We also provide, if you have digital deserts, for example, many retailers have as many as 20 to 25% of their stores with either poor or no internet connectivity. We provide on-device processing as well, so that we can actually stack the AI stack onto the device itself, process that in real time, and have reports in hand in milliseconds. So again, providing both cloud-based and in-store on-device-based processing. In terms of accuracy, we operate well above 96%, both in terms of on-shelf availability, product recognition, accuracy, but also in terms of planogram compliance, price compliance, and as I said previously, competitive information. In terms of flexibility, we integrate both in terms of deep linking to mobile applications, but also in terms of APIs, either with raw image data or with raw reporting data, such that if you have your own BI platform or your own data lake for analysis, rather than using our analytics platform, or in addition to using that analytics platform, we can feed raw data to you as well. We serve our clients at scale. As I referenced earlier, we are an international company operating now in more than 60 countries with both CPG and retail. And we provide solutions to many significant providers, both, again, in the CPG space and in the retail space, ranging, again, across a multitude of categories, from healthcare to wine and spirits to soft drinks to multi-category to confection and so forth. Also in the retail space, convenience, dark stores, hypermarkets, and supermarkets have seen positive results from use of our technology. We transform retail images from all channels into actionable insights, and that's actionable insights in real time. We've noted one thing I'll point out: we support both mobile gathering of data, but also fixed camera gathering of data as well. As I referenced earlier, the convenience store chain, where we generated anywhere from 5.6 to 7.3% per store per week revenue increase, that was achieved with a mix of both mobile information gathering and fixed camera information gathering, such that fixed cameras were focused on fast moving categories, whereas tight categories, again, convenience space, you have very little shelf space, very little room, or sorry, aisle space, if you will, relatively little room for the gathering of information or the fixing of cameras in particular areas. So mixing those technologies made the greatest difference. But we also noted a significant increase in the attention and focus of operational staff by virtue of working with the mobile solution in combination with the fixed camera solution as well. The solution overall consists of data collection, processing, and reporting. Again, I'll highlight a couple of points. In terms of data collection, we can accept data from any source. In our particular case, we have applications running on both iOS and Android devices, from mobile information gathering, but also provide fixed cameras, either in terms of IP addressable cameras with power over Ethernet or Wi-Fi based battery powered cameras as well. Data processing can take place in the cloud or on device. And in terms of reporting, we have real-time alerting to operational staff in store, as well as detailed analytics drill down capabilities that are made available in the browser, so thus accessible to headquarters or to analytics personnel. In recent releases, both in terms of our on-device recognition, which I've spoken to previously, you'll see the video clip running here showing on-device processing, putting a report in hand of the operations staff literally in less than a second, indicating both out of stocks, on-shelf availability, planogram compliance, and price compliance. We've enhanced our image gathering capability for users to be not only driven by them manually, but also now with augmented reality enhancements. We have a guided photo shoot such that the AR gathers images automatically as the user is moving down the shelf space, such that in addition to being faster, the stitching is done in real time and the panoramic view created on the device in real time while the user is gathering that information. And again, millisecond response time in terms of actionable alerts, both in terms of stock in store that can be immediately replenished, as well as feeds, as API feeds to automated ordering and perpetual inventory systems.
Great.
I think I've gone a second or two over 5 minutes, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Emma is with Tesco. Emma, love to get your comments and reactions to this particular pitch from David.
Hi, David. Yeah, really interesting to see, and really impressive that kind of fast turnaround data processing from capturing the images to being able to share the insight gained from it, because I think that's the tricky bit that we've seen historically. I just wanted to ask I'm guessing from having done this with multiple retailers, multiple kind of CPGs, and having that experience with both kind of fixed cameras and mobile cameras, what in your experience do you find is better? Because I think there's lots of pros and cons between both of them, both from kind of cost, maintenance, etc. But just in terms of getting the right data, what do you think?
Our experience in general has been that a mixed solution works well. In a number of areas. For example, let's say center store, a retailer's standard stocking and blocking activity is typically sufficient, particularly if you're getting those data feeds in real time. So that can be taken care of such that we're not interrupting the flow, if you will, of the standard stocking and blocking. But in fast-moving areas and areas, for example, such as fresh food or grab and go type of deli environments, fixed cameras work well because of the greater frequency of information gathering. One of the things we also do, in addition to recognition of product, in those environments where you have fresh fruits and vegetables in bins, for example, or convenience environment where you have confection candy presented in boxes rather than individual bars, we do fullness analysis so that we can report in real time how full a bin is or whether a bin is in danger of being out of stock, such that that information can be done in real time, particularly with fresh food, so that you minimize spoilage, but also maximize customer satisfaction and access. So we've seen a hybrid environment work best with both mobile and fixed.